Good evening. Australia's biggest city woke to a red dawn this morning as Sydney's famous icons were blanketed by a massive dust storm. Visibility was reduced to just metres in some areas, forcing flights to be diverted, ferries cancelled, roads closed and doctors to issue health warnings. The nation's capital had a taste of the dust storm yesterday, but today it was the turn of New South Wales and Queensland to be shrouded in a thick haze. By mid-morning it had spread north to Brisbane, dust settling on everything in its path.
A desert storm sweeps into Australia's biggest city. Sydney woke to a fiery haze unlike anything it's seen in recent memory. A blanket of dust so thick it blocked out the sun.
Getting to the Harbour Bridge, we weren't expecting it to look like this in the morning.
From the suburbs to the centre of town, the landscape looked more like Mars than Earth. Sirens echoed eerily in the distance. The dust played havoc with the morning commute, visibility choked by the haze. Ferries sat lifeless in the harbour, every service cancelled until mid-morning. Sydney Airport was down to just one runway. Flights unable to land were forced to divert to Melbourne and Brisbane. For those that did make it down,
I was sitting in the emergency exit row and I was making preparations just in case.
At Circular Quay, locals and tourists scrambled to capture the best shots.
Look very surprising.
Sydney Tower was open, but there wasn't much to see.
All I can see is dust.
The city notched up its worst air pollution reading in 70 years. An air quality index of 200 is considered hazardous. Today, it peaked at 1,700. Many ended up in hospital, struggling to breathe.
But what we've seen today is patients coming in really breathless, really in trouble, who have had to be treated instantly as soon as they hit the door.
The dust blew over from inland Australia, carried by winds whipped up by a cold front and a deep low pressure trough above Victoria.
This is probably the most severe event, at least to affect coastal New South Wales, the Sydney region, in probably 70 or so years.
By midday the skies had largely cleared, but there are warnings pollution levels will remain high for at least the next few days. The clean-up will take a little longer. It's estimated more than 380,000 tonnes of dust has blown across New South Wales since yesterday.